All right. So I am in a different location. I'm in my kitchen today. And the reason why I'm in my kitchen today is because I have three things laid out on my kitchen table that I want to show you today. And as you can see right here, we have our bullet journal, we have a book, and we have an iPad. Now, iPad can be replaced with any tablet, a computer, a phone. We'll get to why I use my iPad here in a second. But we have, like I said, the bullet journal, book, iPad I use. Now, my bullet journal is what I use every single day that doesn't cost me any money other than spending a few bucks on a notebook, journal, whatever you want to use. I use the Lorsham 1917 bullet journal branded one. You can buy any dotted notebook, any line notebook, any grid notebook that you want to. It's just what I prefer and what I use. Slide all this other stuff out the way real quick. Don't want to drop them. So with our bullet journal, the biggest thing for me is making sure that every single day I look through it. And the reason why I'm looking through this every single day is because I want to keep track of things like what I plan on doing in the future, what I plan on doing today, tomorrow, next week. And it keeps me just focusing on track. And if you've never heard of bullet journaling, Ryder, the guy who came up with the methodology for it, check him out. His YouTube page is Bullet Journal, and it's a great method and it's a great idea, especially for someone like myself who also kind of has an ADD problem. It's really hard for me to focus sometimes, and I tend to get off track on so many different things. It's like right now I'm recording this video. It's 9 a.m. in the morning. I've been up since 5 a.m. and I feel like I've accomplished a lot in those past 4 hours. I got a lot done before 8 a.m. But I still feel like my mind is just going back and forth, and I just can't lock down fully just yet. And the bullet journal helps with that every single day. Every single day. Because my mind races back and forth, I can never be fully productive. And a lot of times, just, even if you don't suffer from ADD, a lot of times we have stress, emotions, family problems, work problems, and personal life problems where you just cannot lock down on one task to do. And that's kind of what we want to talk about today, is how to lock down task by task by task by task, or at least know when we can do certain tasks throughout our day and make sure that we're always keeping up on what's most important right now. So in my bullet journal, the first few pages I always do is a 12-month layout. I don't write the dates on there. I don't care about the dates. I take 4 pages and I divvy them up each page in three blocks, and I put January through December on each block on 4 pages, 12 different blocks. And the reason why I don't put dates on there, I do use washi tape, and I'll slap a little small calendar on there. Which here, I'll show you. So I slap a little small calendar on there, and that's about it. I'm still we're in September now, so I still gotta fill out all the way out till February, because I started this a little bit differently, of 2021. But the idea of my future log, and you can do this with anything, Post-it notes and so on and so forth. I just write down notes of things that need to happen in those months. And it could be birthdays, it could be weddings, it could be events, it could be interviews, it could be, maybe you gotta get, pregnancy tests. I don't know. I don't get pregnant, right? So I just write down important stuff that needs to happen in the future. Don't care about them today, but at some point they need to be done. And as soon as I dump that out my brain, that's one less thought I have to maintain, because I'm going to forget, and it's going to drive me insane the way my brain works if I don't remember what it is. So as soon as I think about it and I know it happens 2 months from now, I dump it into that future log and it is off my mind. After that, next thing I do is, at least in my bullet journal, I take a blank sheet of paper, I write the month it is. We're in September right now. And on the side of the page, going all the way down from each line, I write down every single day in the month, this is September 1 through 30, and then I write the day of the week it corresponds with it. And just like my future log, I am writing down things that are important for September. I don't care about everything else. I just want to know about the things that need to happen on this day of September. When bills are due, when I got to take the trash out to the sidewalk, whose birthday it is that month, if I have to be anywhere for an appointment that particular point in the month, kids' school vacations, field trips, so on and so forth. I write that stuff in there for September, and then I forget about it until that date comes up. Every day I check I check for that day and see if there's anything important on there. I might do it that morning, or I might do it the night before, just to make sure I'm staying ahead. But I dump it out my brain. Again, less stuff to remember, more time for productivity in the future. Then I move over to another page, and from there I kind of keep it simple, and I have a daily section, like Post-it notes, right? We write things to remind ourselves on. I have a daily log in here, and let's see if you can see that. I have a daily log. You probably can see the light's really bright on there. That's my fault. On that daily log, I will write down everything that's relevant to that day. So I get up at 5 a.m. every morning, and at 5 a.m., I will write down things I need to do that day. If I have to work that day, if there's a project I didn't finish that day, if I got to go pick up, like today I got to go pick up school packets from the kids because we're doing remote learning, and that's on my list of things to do. So that I don't have to remember. I just wrote it down. It's off my brain. It's gone. So now I'm feeling more productive because A, I've written it down. B, I know what's going to happen because I put that into motion already. Self-fulfilling prophecy right there. And C, I can focus on the next task because I know that I wrote it down. If it's not important, I don't have to do it right now. It just needs to be done today. That's my daily log. Clear, simple, and then everything else, is however you want to make it. If you want more into bullet journaling, just let me know down in the comments, and I can run a full tutorial on there. The biggest thing about bullet journaling is you got to keep it simple, Sally. There's a lot of bullet journal people out there on YouTube, and there's a lot of tutorials on them. And the biggest thing is, you see them, and if you feel defeated already when you look at these artists and these productivity people who have very creative minds, and their bullet journals are just astronomically out of proportion, where it doesn't make sense to you. Ryder, the guy who created the methodology, keeps his so simple that it's easy for him to keep up with. When I first started looking into bullet journaling, I was still drawing at that time. I still draw from here to there, but not as much. And the artists that I was following on YouTube, their bullet journals were just so it looked like an art portfolio inside their bullet journal. You don't have to do that. If you watch somebody who does that, kick them in the face, because it's too much for you. You're getting outside the point of why people bullet journal. If you like watching that stuff, 100%, that's awesome, dog. But just remember, it's not about what you put into it. It's about that you put something in it that helps you be more productive with your time. We're not trying to be efficient with time. We're trying to be productive with our time. Efficiency is a key, but we want to make sure every moment is productive throughout our day so we get the most done over the greatest value of our time. All right, so tip number 2 that doesn't cost you a single thing is reading. Read a book. I am reading Sarah Knight's book, You Do You. It's a self-help book. I am currently on this new journey in life, trying to figure out who I am and make sure that I cut out all the other BS that's in there. And, her words speak to me in a different way. She kind of cuts the BS out, and she's real vulgar about what she says and how she feels, and I like that. That's me, right? So I found something that talked to me to help me. So the reason why I get up at 5 a.m. is actually so I can read first thing in the morning. So I get up at 5 a.m. and I read at least 10 pages of a self-help book. And it's almost like listening to a motivational podcast for me, which I do that when I work out. But as soon as I get up and the first thing I do is open a book, I feel more productive instantly because I've learned something. The first part of my day, I've learned something and I've educated myself further than I was when I went to bed. And that just, it takes something right here for me that I feel a lot of people just forget to reach out to. You know, if you read first thing in the morning right when you got up and you didn't pick up, you know, where's it at? This thing over here. Let me get it real quick. The cell phone, you'd feel more productive. What do you do when you first get up? Well, let me unlock my phone. Let me check Facebook. Let me check Instagram. Let me check Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. Oh, who texted me last night? Did I get any phone calls while I was sleeping? No, you didn't get any phone calls. You didn't get any messages. If you get up at a reasonable hour, you know, before 8 a.m. to start your day, if you're a business person, or just in general, you got kids, right? You just get up early. If you went to bed at a reasonable time the night before, whatever's reasonable for your schedule, no one messaged you, man. They just didn't. I hardly ever get up in the morning to, you know, more than one text message, if that, at 5 a.m. People don't start texting me till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, or calling me till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So there's almost no reason to look at my phone. And you know what they say, junk in, junk out. So I don't want to put junk in my brain that early in the morning. So I just leave my phone on silent, and I'm either reading a physical book or I'll grab my Kindle and I'll take my dog for a walk and I'll read my Kindle for a little bit. So I'm killing exercise already and I'm reading a book. And once I finish reading, I already feel like I'm a step ahead on my day because my mind's ready to go. I've already kind of established that mindset that I'm ready to learn and grow internally for my business. So I'm already feeling, you know, just more I'm already feeling more productive just right off the get-go. That's cool. That's awesome. Tip number 3, that's 6 fingers, but just count them as 3, right? I want to show you another trick that I use, which is using our iPad for reminders. So I want to show you how using your iPad or iPhone or any kind of phone that has like a task manager or reminders application. I am an Apple guy, so I love using anything that's Apple native. So we're going to use the Reminders app on our iOS products. So first thing I want to do, I want to add a list. We're going to call this list YouTube ideas. And we're going to make that a list right there. And so now we got our list right there, YouTube ideas. We want to create a new reminder. So the new reminder is going to be create thumbnail and enter. So now we got to create a thumbnail. We want to upload video. We want to edit video, create description. Boom. So we got 4 tasks right there. And we're going to click those. We're going to information right here. And we're going to add some notes. So I want to take, 4 photos. I want to edit the photos. And I use Canva to edit because I'm feeling lazy some days. And I use my iPad. And I want to add a date. So let's add today's date on there, September 4th. And a time, we want to do that we want to have a reminder at 10 a.m. And we don't want to repeat because it's just for today. And then have it under list. Not going to flag it. You can add subtasks, additional things like the notes I just made. Now, if you don't want to add notes, you can add subtasks for things that need to happen when you're doing it. And we're going to hit done. Now, today at 10 o'clock, we're going to get a reminder to create a thumbnail. We need to take 4 photos. We need to edit the photos to Canva. And that's it. So simple. So we went over 3 different ways and tools to help boost our productivity level first thing in the morning. And some of them, these 3 things are so simple that you probably already do them. You just don't understand why they're important for you, which makes you feel like you don't need to do them every single day. And there's some of you who, maybe you pick up one tip. Maybe you didn't know that the reminders application on your iOS products is so efficient. I mean, it's crazy effective. You can set these categories up, these lists for each different businesses you have, for families and so on and so forth. I have one for family, and I can set reminders on there so that everybody in my family who has an iOS device, which everyone does, because like I said, I'm an Apple fanboy, they'll get notifications at certain times and dates of things they need to do. Like for my kids, they all have tablets, and I'll put reminders on there, and they'll get reminded, oh, hey, remote learning starts for school in 5 minutes. And they'll know that because they're probably on their phone watching some crazy YouTube Kids video. They watch way too many of that. Like, I can't tell you how many Ryan's World toys we have in our house because we own Ryan's World toys. Not literally, but we own all of them. All of them. Every mystery surprise. We have the whole collection. Ryan, you market like crazy. You do a good job for a little kid. I wish I had that power and that ambition to be you. But yep, my kids want to spend my money on you. Go figure, right? Nextly, just getting up and opening a book. You should be reading every single day anyways. It'll change your life dramatically. And you're always learning. You want to be active and passive learning all the time. Passive learning is, you hear something in the distance and you're like, oh, hey, that's a really good idea. Maybe I should look into that. Passive, you're always learning, and you should always have your brain turned on. Active learning, like reading a self-help book in the morning, is you're actively trying to better yourself for tomorrow. Journaling, bullet journal, diary, however you want to do it, taking notes, post-it notes, writing notes down on a bulletin board, which if you look right behind me, right over my thumb, there is a bulletin board. I'm going to kind of circle it real quick. Bulletin board back there, and every single day I write down things that need to happen for today's agenda so my kids can see it, and I can see it, and we know we're on track throughout the day, and I just cross things out. That's a family way to kind of organize too. And as long as the family's on track, I'm on track. And if I'm on track, they're definitely on track. And we're progressing further, faster, sooner. But that's all I want to leave with you today. Hey, by the way, my shirt, I Shoot Raw. You're probably asking questions if you stayed this long to watch the video. So let me answer those questions for you before we assume anything. Yes, I have 3 kids. Yes, I shot raw. Does that shirt mean that? No. If you watch one of my favorite YouTubers, Fro No Photos, Jared Poland, this is his shirt. It's a photography shirt. I shoot in a raw format. He shoots in a raw format. Always shoot raw. Always shoot raw. Shoot raw. But till then, I'll see you next time. I'm Tony. It's the Tony Narrative Show. Peace out. Camera's still turned off, right? Camera still on? Holy crap. It's still on. All right. Okay, I gotta go. See ya.